Welcome back to Top 5 Auto Repairs. How do you know you have a bad brake light switch and it's time to replace it? The first sign that you know that you might have a bad brake light switch is when your brake light is staying on at all times, even when the engine is off. The next sign that you know that you may potentially have a bad brake light switch is when your brake light stays on and when you try to shift out of park and your shift lever cannot move, then that's how you know your brake light switch might be bad. The next sign that you know that you have a bad brake light switch is when you step on the brake pedal and the back brake lights do not turn on and you think that you have a burnt out brake lights and you replace it, and when you step on the brake pedal and it still does not turn on, then you know your brake light switch might be at fault. When you have bad brake light switch, you may notice the ABS light turning on, you may notice cruise control may not work properly, and you may notice your brakes light may work intermittently. If you're having all these symptoms, it does not necessarily mean your brake light switch is bad. There are also other factors that may contribute to these symptoms. I'm going to show you guys what to check. First thing first, check for a blown brake light switch fuse. If the brake light switch fuse is blown, go ahead and replace it. So the brake light switch is located on the top part of the brake pedal, and the component I'm pointing to is the brake light switch. If your brake lights are staying on at all times, make sure that rubber stopper or that plastic stopper is not missing. If that rubber stopper or plastic stopper is missing, that brake light will stay on at all times. Next, check the brake light switch connection. If the connection is loose or you have wire issue, again, that can cause the brake light switch to stop working properly. So the brake light switch is either threaded on or it's held on by a C-clip. And the brake light switch can be made of plastic, which can be quite flimsy, and it can actually break off and come out of place. So this is the brake light switch, and this is how the brake light switch works. When you're not stepping on the brake pedal, the plunger is in. And when you step on the brake pedal, the plunger is out. When the plunger is in, your brake lights are off. And when you step on the brake pedal, the plunger plunges out and the brake lights turn on. When your brake light switch rubber or plastic stopper is missing, it's going to cause the brake light switch to constantly plunge outward, and this is going to cause your brake light to stay on at all times. This is how you check for a bad brake light switch. The brake light switch operation is extremely simple. When the brake light plunges outward, there should be continuity. And when it plunges inward, there's no continuity. When it plunges outward, that means you're stepping on the brake pedal and the circuit should be complete and there should be continuity. When you're not stepping on the brake pedal, the circuit should be closed and there's no continuity. So the brake light switch, there's a small spring on the inside, and sometimes the internal component can break and the plunger may not plunge out at all. So it may be closed at all times like this. So keep in mind that if this does not plunge outward and it does not go in and out like this, then you know you're gonna have internal issue. So when you change your back brake light bulbs and the brake lights are not turning on when you step on the brake pedal, that's because the brake light switch probably is not plunging out due to a bad spring or it's broken internally. I hope you found this video useful. As always, thank you for watching. Subscribe to Top 5 Auto Repairs.